This video gives an overview of the projects that you'll complete in Innovative Practices. It's a project-based course, and there are 4 projects that will constitute your work in the course. The first is the problem identification project. It's where you're going to get your feet on the ground with inquiry, problem-based learning, and differentiated instruction, and you will basically do some reading. That can be web searches. That'll also be some reading out of professional journals for teachers, just to get a sense of the lay of the land of these new types of instruction. That project, it happened in the first couple of weeks of the course, and it is 10% of your grade, 10 out of 100 points. Once you've done that project, you'll have the lay of the land of inquiry, problem-based learning, and differentiated instruction, and you're ready to move on to the problem attack project, which is worth 20% of your grade, 20 out of 100 points. And in the problem attack project, you begin focusing on your students and how one of those modes of teaching would help to increase the performance of your students. Now, I should have said in the first project, you mainly do a time log. You just log the hours that you're looking at, the required hours that I'll give you for doing the research. In the second project, you'll produce more of a product. It's not just a time log, it's a little bit higher, more of a product, some kind of product that answers the question that's associated with the project about how those 3 types of the instruction, or any one of them, could improve the performance of your students. By product, don't get hung up on that. That will be something very authentic, something that should work well for you. If you're in the classroom, the product could easily be a lesson plan or unit plans that you would use to actually implement that instruction, or even the results of you having implemented the instruction to see the type of instruction to see what happens with it with your students. Then the last 2 projects are done together. They can be done together, they can be done separately. And it is the Learning Environments Project and the National Boards Project together. This course aligns with UAB's focus in our master's program of helping our master's candidates begin to make movement toward national boards. So this course carves off the specific piece of the national board portfolio focused on better either small group or whole class instruction. And in the last project, which is worth 50% of your grade, it's 50 points, you create a project that shows how you're beginning to make progress toward national boards. And we'll look at national boards and you'll understand exactly how to do that. But this is a big project. It's where you really settle in after learning. The second project will be finished around 6 weeks into the course, 8 weeks. So you'll have another 4 or 5 weeks to really settle into this project and really dig into the teaching in your classroom and how to improve either small or whole group instruction using one of these modes of instruction: inquiry, problem-based learning, or differentiated instruction. Or at that point, if you found out something else that you want to do to improve instruction in your classroom, you can focus on that. The Learning Environments Project is part of it, is part of the specific requirements in the course where you have to show skills for facilitating this kind of novel instruction. Most people in the course do those 2 projects together, but if it makes sense for you at that point to separate it, you can do 2 different projects, and it's not a decision that you have to make now. So 3 big projects. We've talked about 70% of your grade. The other 20% of your grade in the course comes from attendance, participation, and any reflections that I require in the course. But all of that basically is your Edmodo grade. Edmodo will keep track of all of your participation grade, and that 20 points in the course will be whatever percentage shows in Edmodo for that. Hope all that makes sense. Of course, if you have questions, reply back to me or send me a private note if it's something that you're not comfortable saying to the whole class. But that's the overview each time before we start a project, I'll give you a full introduction to the project, see what questions you have, and make sure you know how you're going to be graded. Just make me realize that on the last big project, the National Boards and the Learning Environment Project, which most people typically combine, you will write, I didn't tell you how to grade, that will be graded, you will write your own rubric for that. So yeah, you'll decide on that final project what you want to do, and then you'll tell me how to grade it. Some of you just got stressed out on that. I promise you, it'll be okay. And I'll walk you through, remember, with each project, I'll walk you through each step when we get to it. This is an overview to let you know where things are going. If you got burning questions, I want to answer those now. If you don't have a whole lot of questions, then you can just wait until each project starts to get unfurled. Hope that helps.